Hi, I'm Sarah and you're watching Ken Sarah DIY It. Today I'm participating in a really fun playlist and it's called What Would You Make? The hosts are Zaina from OK at Home and Connie from Connie's Creative Creations. This month's co-host, the guest co-host, is Lovely Moments Crafting. This is my first month participating in this. Woo-hoo! I'm excited about it. I've actually been wanting to participate. So I got it together and I'm finally joining this playlist because, I like making wood signs and I have all the fixins. So I get to participate this month. So I'm very excited about it. If you are not subscribed and you like this video, you like my vibe, please consider subscribing. I would love that. You can join my DIY crew and make sure to check the playlist. I'm going to link it in my description box below. I will also have a link for all the materials that I used in this video and other videos as well in my description box in a little link tree for you. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get going. Are you ready to see what I'm going to make? Yeah. So my sister comes to me and she tells me that she wants decor for a lake house that she has. She has a lake house in Illinois that her family uses on the weekends, and her kids and her husband, and they also rent it out like an Airbnb type thing. So she asked me, she sent me a bunch of inspo pictures with all these oars, and it was really, really beautiful. And there was a couple of pictures where they had like a chevron pattern. That's the one that she and I both agreed was like really pretty. So I went on Amazon and I found these mini oars. And what they really are, you know, like fraternities where they pledge and like they haze people and they might, you know, spank. I don't want to say it, but you know what I'm saying? The paddles. Okay, that's what these are, but they're in the perfect shape of an oar. So they were $12.99, pretty good price. I bought 3 of them because that's what I wanted to do for the wall decor. And here we go. Before I got started, I took a sanding block and some sandpaper from the Dollar Tree. I bought a pack that had from 80 grit to 150 grit, and I took one of the 150 grit pads or sanding papers, and I wrapped it around the block, and I just went around the edges of each oar just to get rid of the roughness so that when I put the stain on, it was smooth. The first thing I did was I took some white chalk paint, Folk Art chalk paint home decor from Plaid, and I poured a little bit out, and I'm just gonna tell you, I have never heard myself make this noise. Oh no! In my life. Oh no! And you're welcome. I let you hear it twice because when I was editing the video, I'm like, what is that noise that you just made? A normal person would be like, oops. I have like an old bin of like single socks because socks go missing for no apparent reason. It's a mystery. No one knows. No, I'm just kidding. And I just grab a sock out of there whenever I need to do a wash on anything. So I don't actually personally own any stain. Whenever I want to get a stain look, I just water down some acrylic paint, chalk paint, whatever, and I do like a wash on whatever I'm doing. So in this case, I wanted the wood to be like a whitewash, which I thought would be very lake house-ish-esque, whatevs. So I did a whitewash on everything and let that dry. Then I went to my silhouette. I do have a Cricut, but the software for me is just not intuitive yet. I'm working on it. It's not like I have the machine. I have made some projects with the machine, but the silhouette I've had for like 7 years. I just know how to use it, lickety split. So I went on Google, I found a free chevron pattern. I typed in the word chevron image And like, I got some gas station images, and then I got 3 chevrons, and that's perfect. Honestly, you could just use painter's tape. You don't need to have a Cricut. You can just use painter's tape. It's fine. I also just got this new stencil contact paper, like from Amazon. I'll link it. I wanted to try it out. I wanted to see, okay, normally I would just use vinyl, but I want to try the stencil paper because a lot of times when I use vinyl, it pulls up some of the paint that I've used like previously on the piece, blah, 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 blah. Any hoozy doozy. After I weeded out the chevron, I took this contact paper that I got on Amazon that I will link. It is low tack, so when you place it on things like wood or other things where your vinyl might not easily stick to it, it's easy to remove your contact paper. Your vinyl or whatever you're sticking to the piece is going to stick to your item and not stick to the contact paper. So this is a really good transfer paper. I put it on the ore, and I realized, because I wanted it to go around the edges, I realized these are like curved pieces. It's not going to just like lay flat except for the centerpiece. And then ding, 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 I cut little slits, and I was able to get it to go around the curves. It was like, for me, I was like really excited about it because I was like, who's the smartest baby in the world? You're so genius. You're so smart. Oh, look at you. You figured this out. You know, like when the caveman was like, or like, no, Tom Hanks is like, I made fire. That was like the moment for me. I was like, look, I figured this out. I'm a genius. It was a really pinnacle moment for me. Anyway, so silly. Yeah. And then like, I didn't want to use a paintbrush, and I didn't want to use like a sponge. So I just got out my little mini, like little, like 3-inch roller, and I rolled on the paint, and I like moved the thing around and rolled it all over. And then while the paint was still wet, I peeled off the stencil, because if you wait until the paint is totally dry, there's a chance that you're going to get like some chipping. Like it might peel off some of the paint with it, and you're not going to get that crisp line. And that's what you want, right? With a chevron, you don't want like chipped lines. I will say that after the fact, like after I let it completely dry, I did go back in with just a little paintbrush, and I filled in a few little spaces where the paint wasn't really perfect. And that's fine. It wasn't a big deal because I only did 1 coat of paint. So I just went in because there were some spots like on the side of the handle where I didn't get perfect, you know, things like that. So now I am like, I love this. I texted my sister a picture, and I'm like, okay, well, now for the words, because my whole plan all along was I wanted to do lake life. And you know, you've seen lake life signs, but I have never seen it on an oar or like on oars. And I mean, maybe it's out there. I'm sure I'm not the first person to come up with it, but I thought it was a really cute idea. So I go into my Silhouette studio, and I find a Lake Life template, which I had purchased before. And so I cut that out. And then when you weed it, you just weed it in reverse for a stencil. Okay. So, for this kind of stencil, right? So you take out like the lake, the letters, and you take out that, and you leave in like what you normally would take out. That's what you leave in, so that you can, when you stencil, it'll leave like the word, you know what I'm saying. I'm over explaining, but anyway, yeah, it worked out great. I did use a dauber, like a little dauber. You can get them at the Dollar Tree. I order them on Amazon, Dollar Tree, whatever. You can do whatever you want. Get them wherever you want. It worked out really beautifully. I did let them dry a little before I peeled up the stencil. I was super nervous about it because they had little pieces that I had to take out. And I don't think I filmed when I took out the little pieces because I was like in there with like my little tiny tweezers, like pulling out the little pieces. But there were a couple spots that I did take a little bit of paint up with my tweezers, but I just went back in with a tiny paintbrush with a little bit of the white paint, and I just touched up. You can't see it at all. You cannot see it at all. It's perfect. All right. Now you may think, Sarah, you're done. Your work here is done. Take a break. Put your legs up. Relax. no, my friends, I am not done. Let's kick this up one more notch. So I dig through all of my jute, and I'm telling you, I don't have as good of a collection as I thought I did. I'm like actually kind of mad about it because I thought I had some like nautical rope, and I don't, but I did have some like pretty round jute. It's like woven jute. So what I did, I played around with it a lot before I actually figured out what I was going to do. So for me and my OCD stuff, I needed it, each one to be exactly the same. So I was very careful. I was super tight wrapping it around. And then what I did is I put it through the hole and then I tucked that piece under as I was wrapping. And the only place I put glue is at the very bottom, at the very end. And you'll see here where I put the glue. And I held it there like long enough where I knew it was secure. And then I trimmed it so you wouldn't see it from the front. Now these pieces are done. Now these pieces are perfect. Now these pieces are beautiful. In my opinion, these look expensive. In my opinion, these look professional. That's what I was going for. I want these to look like someone like paid for these. I don't want someone to be like, oh, did you make those? No, sweetie. I want someone to say, where did you buy those? I want those. I am so excited about how these came out. I sent a picture to my sister. She's out of town right now with her daughter, has like a soccer thing. She's awesome, my niece. She's my goddaughter. And she said, literally love. So I'm like, yay, success. I'm so excited. And I can't wait to give them to her. She's going to be really, really happy. I know she will. So I'm really happy with how they turned out. I'm so excited to get to participate in this collaboration. Make sure that you go and check out the rest of the playlist. I'm excited to see what everybody else makes because I'm getting into more like power tools, working with wood, working with tools, and I can't wait to get inspired by what everybody else on this playlist is making. Make sure that you give love to everyone that you watch. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, you know what I'm going to say. Please consider doing so. I'm trying to grow. You grow with me, all right? Become a part of my DIY crew. We have fun over here, okay? I do a lot of different things though. I'm still trying to pin down exactly what I want to do, but hey, come on the journey with me. Come on, let's do it together. I also have an Instagram at KenSarahDIY it. I want to make sure that you have a great week this week. Make sure to try something new, okay? Goodbye.